Okay, so this is part 2 of my updated makeup tutorial that nobody asked for. After I apply my concealer, I like to let it sit and just get kind of tacky for like at least 2 minutes, and then I blend it out with, a damn beauty blender. Now, just for the sake of things like blending nicely, usually this is like kind of a no-no in the makeup world, but I like to get some product like directly on my beauty blender just so things like blend better, because I am using like thicker concealers. Now, I always like to start blending the areas that I like put product on first, just because they have the longest time to oxidize and I don't want anything to like get streaky. And I know it's really cool and really fun to blend in an upwards motion, and I do sometimes, but please always make sure that you're finishing either downwards or sideways, because sorry if I'm literally shivering, it's so cold. Because we have pores in our face and hair, and if you push everything upwards, one, you can get product in your pores, and two, that causes acne, and two, you're disturbing the hairs, so that gives like not the best canvas. Like, you want everything to be kind of pushed down. And pretty important, I don't blend this out until the very end, because it's important to me that my cheekbones are low and kind of big, and if I blend it all out, everything will just kind of like look the same. Another thing that I like to do that I forgot to do is, do you see my eyelid? I like to do that, and the reason why I like to do that is because it extends my eyes and it makes my face seem wider. I have a pretty narrow face, so I want everything to just be as wide as possible. Also, I don't know when it happened, but whenever I get acne, I'm not super obsessed with covering it up. Like, yeah, I want my skin to seem like smooth, but like right there, there's something, right here, there's something. It might get covered with powder, but I honestly think it's kind of cute a little bit, and I also think it's kind of youthful. Like, old people don't really get acne, so I think it's like a sign that you're like young and like healthy to an extent. And it's also just like kind of unique and authentic. I feel like even when you wear makeup, it's nice to have like a mix of natural and unnatural just to seem like authentic. Now, I should have done this on camera, but for my eyelids, I like to get a clean brush and I like to sweep off any product in my crease. This blends everything together. And yeah, I don't need that much product around my crease, so I like to just get rid of it. Okay, so this is where things get a little bit interesting. I like to go in with a baby pink blush, a baby pink lipstick that I use as blush. And let me just show you what I do. Not my best angle, but do you see my dark circles right below? I like to do that. That's my starting point. And another thing, my nose, it's not like big per se, but like, do you see how it kind of goes like out like that? I want to reverse it and kind of scoop it out. Well, I don't know if that makes sense, but like, do you see what I mean? I don't know. Yeah, so that's basically what I do. The reason why I do this is because it shortens my mid-face. Looking at my face, my mid-face right here, it's just the longest part, and shortening it just makes me feel a little bit cuter, more confident, more like harmonious. I also just like love blush, and I think it's really cute, and I think it looks a little bit more natural than just like a bunch of contour. Another rule for me personally is the shadow right here. I like to keep all my blush and contour above here, because otherwise it can kind of make your face look longer. And if you have like a shorter face, like if I were like Selena Gomez, for example, I would definitely put my blush lower here to elongate this area. But for me, because it's longer, it's best to just keep it kind of up here. Now I get a beauty blender kind of like this, and I kind of just like to do that and stop about here. I also don't like to bring it too low. Like, I'm probably gonna have to clean this up. My nostril, like right here, I kind of like to leave it here, because if I put it all the way down, it's just gonna draw the eye downwards. And same with like up here, like I should probably bring this down, because if I bring it all the way up, it's just gonna make this look like long. You see what I'm saying? Alright, so now what I'm gonna do with a slightly deeper pink, I'm gonna start my contour, and it's a little bit weird. A lot of people go upwards, but for me, I'm actually going to go down. So I want like, I don't know if that makes sense. Like, I want it to go almost like in a rainbow kind of motion. I like doing this because I feel like it adds some dimension too. Guys, I totally forgot. I'm really into putting blush on my chin, because it also shortens my face. I'm also going to do something pretty interesting with my filter later, so stay tuned. So I've been blending off camera, and there's one thing I want to show you guys. Triangle shaped brushes, got them from watching K-beauty makeup tutorials, and they're just really nice for contour. It's giving me like the exact shadow that I want. Definitely recommend looking into them. Alright, so now cool part as promised. Let's take a look at my filter and see what to do. Okay, so this is what I did. I'm a little bit nervous, it doesn't look like perfect, but I drew a triangle. And the reason why I did that is because one, it shortens the distance between my lip and my nose, which just makes it look like bigger, cuter overall. And two, it adds dimension to the face. And three, I heard statistically a defined cupid's bow and filter area are like really attractive to humans for some reason, so I'm like scoring some points that way. And now that that's there, I'm going to contour my nose with a lip liner. The reason why I like lip liners is because they're really thin and precise, so it works nicely. They're also pretty thick and blendable. So this is what I have so far. I know it's kind of crazy, but this is also something I've been doing lately. It's kind of new, and it's inspired by cats, if I'm being real. So that's basically what my nose contour looks like. Another reason why I really like to keep it focused down here and like kind of connect it to this area is because if I bring my contour all the way up here, it's going to elongate this section of my face and draw the eye upwards. So I like to just kind of like shrink it and put it here. This also shortens my mid face, and it really allows me to just have like a narrow nose bridge without like elongating my face too much. And of course, I would love to like shrink the tip here, but by having it be a little bit like wider, it widens my face and also just draws the eye this way instead of up and down, which I want because my face is a little bit longer. Okay, so I know it looks like a lot right now. It kind of is. Basically, I blended things out and then I put some concealer here. And then I'm gonna go in again with the white lipstick, white foundation, and just drag it down to make my cheekbones look bigger and lower. And I also drew a horizontal line here with concealer because I really just like want to, my bad. I really just want to separate these two areas and make my nose look as short as possible because it's pretty long. Also, these shadows are creeping in again, so I'm gonna layer and try to erase them again. Alright, so I've just been messing around and blending things. It's a whole process, honestly. While I'm doing this, I'm going to curl my lashes. The reason why is because no matter how many times I clean my eyelash curler, whenever I curl them, I get black stuff on my eye, and I would rather do that with like concealer rather than like foundation and everything like already set and just like have a hard time hiding it. So, you know the vibes. Yeah. I like to get as close as I can to my like lash root, and then I like to do it over and over and over and over forever. I like to do it at least until I feel my eyelash curler cool down, because part of the process with curling hairs is yes, the heat, but also it cooling in place, like in the shape of whatever you were doing. That's the difference. Pretty big. I'm just doing the other eyeball forever. Yeah, now they're both done. Okay, so I'm gonna blend my under eyes now. Basically, I just get a damp beauty blender, blend it out, and then I immediately set it with this powder. I like to use a warm colored pressed powder just to cancel out any darkness and really just like set it nicely. I like to use a brush like this and kind of just like pat it and vibrate it, and it's really important to me that I keep this kind of shape here. Like, remember my dark circle, like I want this to be dark and I want this to be really bright, and then I pull it down here. Alright, so I set my under eyes, and then I also put some white baking powder here to kind of pop out my cheekbones, and then I put that same white powder here and just like extended my crease and made my lids like kind of pop out a little bit. I think I'm running out of time, so add to part 3.